now, Jabroni Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakdale, Connecticut. It's Chris Burns. It's Chris Lynch. This is Dysfunction Junction.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, at least this week they're happy to hear from us.
They were very happy.
Welcome back, everybody, to the show. It's the podcast that, fuck it. It's a bad week.
It's the award-winning podcast that hasn't won a goddamn thing.
And you know
fuck
why that is?
Yeah.
We're blaming it all on you guys because you don't vote. You don't leave 5 stars. You don't even send a Christmas card.
No, not even. You know what? You know what? Somebody back east is wondering, how come he don't write?
Exactly. Well, guess what? We're not writing because you ain't right to us. So welcome back to Dysfunction Junction.
We're definitely not right.
No, we're not.
There's a hold on, not right up here.
Anybody want to hit the tagline while I'm here? I did say welcome to Dysfunction Junction.
I said it. I said it hasn't won a goddamn thing. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now that we're all on the same page, welcome back. My name is Chris Burns. In the center of the screen this time is Paul Lind, but he is known by
Captain Lunch It, the Dick Muncher.
Otherwise known as Chris Lynch.
That is Chris Lynch.
From the home office in Poop Hole, Colorado. Broke news on late Saturday night. We're going to talk. We're going to jump right into it in just a second.
Broke it before the national before the Big Four hit it.
Right.
Because I'm that close.
That's Big Herm, Michael P.S. Herman. You may as well just jump right in. Let's get to this.
Not last night. The night before, about midnight. Saturday night, some guy with a long gun went into a place up here in Colorado Springs. It's about a 40-minute drive from here, and he went into a place called Club Q, which is a known LGBTQ club that was having supposedly a really awesome, highly rated. There was a drag show going on. He went in with a long gun. Not sure how the fuck he got in yet.
Yeah.
How he got in with a long gun. I mean, handgun, I can get it in there if they're not, metal detectors. How the fuck do you walk in with a long gun? But then proceeded to start shooting people. 5 people were killed. We have 25. The injury toll with various bullet wounds is up to 25, and about 3. They immediately called the police. Colorado Springs police did their job. They showed up in 3 fucking minutes.
That's awesome.
And after it all went down, and by the time somebody had called, the police showed up in 3 minutes, and by the time they showed up there, the crowd went nuts and subdued him. So this poor bastard went to a drag show and then shot a bunch of people and then got his ass kicked by the fans at a drag show. Like, if you can look, they don't take no shit apparently at the drag show. Do not fuck with my stage, boy.
You build your share impersonators different out there in Colorado.
They show for real. Even the fags are hard out here, and I said it.
A linebacker in a dress is still a linebacker.
That's right.
And second, that's not the story you want to tell in jail. Hey, brother, how'd you get in? I shot a bunch of queers. How'd you get caught?
The queers beat my ass.
The queers beat my ass and caught me.
They didn't let me get out of the fucking place. They beat the shit out of me and held me there till the cops came. It's not my proudest fucking moment.
That young man is destined to become public enema number 1.
Public enema number 1. I was like, dude, you went in there with a gun and then got your ass beat and subdued by the fans at a drag show. I'm betting there's not a straight motherfucker in the house that night. You got your ass beat.
If they were security or bartenders. That's it.
That's what I'm saying. They were staff.
Yeah. The owners of the club, and from what I heard today, the owners of the club were there within 5 minutes, so they only lost to the police by 2, but they turned over all the tapes. They went right into their, active shooter protocol. Gave all the stuff
Yep.
to the police.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I gotta give.
Everybody's cooperated. EMS, the EMS and the emergency response staff of fire and ambulance and police all responded amazingly well. There was no delay. There was no Texas bullshit. The cops got on scene and went in fucking John Wayne style, only to find out that he had already been taken care of. But at no point did anybody like, I don't know, we gotta fucking sit back and figure it out. No, the cops just went the fuck in and were ready to deal with what they had.
Exactly. And I got
That's,
you again with all the reports coming in, and then we're going to talk a little about the backlash and how stupid the media is. I got to give credit to not only the patrons of this club. Instead of everybody running for cover, a couple of them went
Right, like
9/11 and said, "Let's roll, let's get this motherfucker."
Yeah.
Right. They were the same. The fans and the people attending this event at this show were
The Denver Broncos.
They were the same. Well, I wouldn't go that far this year, bro.
They do Sunday.
Fuck off.
They were tired from the night before tackling a killer.
Yeah, we lost in overtime. It wasn't pretty. I'm like, it's not. I'm not happy.
You know what? Your
It's
mantra
bad.
for today, before we get back to the story, is at least we're not the Vikings.
Dude, they got bent over and fucked like a prison bitch.
Dallas
Like
went to Minnesota, walked into the house, hugged the kids, raided the fridge, fucked the wife, took the sock drawer, and left.
Took the sock drawer and left, bro. They were like, they deboed that shit. They were like, this is my sock drawer now. And they just left.
$200.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but my condolences to the Vikings fans.
Oh.
Like, and of all people, you had to let the Cowboys do it. Like,
right, and not only win, they spanked.
Right, like not like it's not like a field goal or even a touchdown. It was literally like, are you guys?
Hi, Derek.
Yeah, it was. What up, D? But literally, it was like, do you want us to let you score? What's going on? This just looks bad. Like,
this is like a whooping on that miniseries Roots.
Yeah, and what's even worse about the situation now is that you've got all the Dallas fans now. They won one, and now they're just now we've got to deal with that shit.
Well, Dallas has been winning, let's be honest, but not like this.
Not like this. Like, like they've been doing that whole squeaking by thing.
Yeah, they whooped Minnesota like Minnesota owed them money. It was terrible. And the worst part about it is it's a nationally televised game. The whole nation at 4:00 on a CBS station gets this game. They yank the feed with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. They're like, dude, let's go to Pittsburgh where there's real football.
Yeah, they were like, fuck it. They were like, right now we're gonna go over to we're watching some high school curling, and we're gonna switch over to that right now. Right now we're going to Arizona. There's a Mexican named Francisco, and we're gonna watch him paint the wall and watch it dry.
There's some kids in Arkansas that are playing flag football in the backyard. Let's go to that game.
Let's go to that game because it's gotta have more. I'm sure the shit talking alone is way better than whatever the fuck we're dealing with here.
Right, and if you look at social media today,
it was horrible.
Before we get back to the story, if you look at social media today, you would have thought, reading these things, that Dallas just won the Super Bowl for the first time in 26 years.
Oh my God, for real,
ridiculous, dude.
It's silly.
I mean, a big win is a great thing to get, but remember that we're only 8-9 games into the season. Some with
week 9. We're week 9, right?
Weeks. Yeah, we just crossed 9. Our bye week's not till my birthday, so.
Yeah, we had ours last week, so then we whatever. But yeah,
then your opponents had one this week.
Yeah, I went to the football game, the New England Football Patriots.
My name is Russell Wilson. I'm going to throw the ball.
Uncross your eyes, Russell.
They are uncrossed.
How was the game, Lynch? Tell us all about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You went to the fucking game. How was that, Mister Bitching about it being cold? Nigga
It was
didn't wake up.
fucking
It's
freezing.
nigga didn't wake up at
Freezing.
6 fucking degrees. I walked out this morning. Did you see the video? Woo,
Yeah.
motherfucker! Goddamn, that's literally me every morning getting the paper. Look. Before you go, to interrupt real quick, my father been telling me for a year and a half now how the winters aren't bad here. He moved here because it's not cold. It's not cold. It's not the same as New England, and it's not the same as New England winter. All right, but it's still November, motherfucker. And I woke up the other morning and it was 6 fucking degrees. And I went to work and walked to the truck to the establishment, and it's 6 fucking degrees. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Pop, I love you. You know that, right? You know it. I motherfucked that old man the whole way from the truck to the car, talking about, Pop, you motherfucking lied to my ass. I don't know what kind of bullshit you're trying to pull, but 6 degrees is not motherfucking warm. You lied, old man, and I will. That's your ass when I get up there.
Maybe he was using the centigrade.
I was like, what? I'm like, what are you on? Like the fucking.
You've been looking at the wrong side all these years.
What are you fucking? You take the temperature with Kelvin? What the fuck?
Now I got to look that up. How much is 6 degrees centigrade? Just to find out how much he was actually talking to you about.
Like, I'm like, dude, it's 6 degrees. And Alexa's like, Alexa, what's the temperature? She's like, nigga, you don't want to know. I was like, I don't want to know, but I have to know.
So 6 degrees Fahrenheit. No, 6 degrees Celsius is 42.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Maybe that's what he was talking about.
Maybe the old man after his stroke was doing shit in the Celsius, but I'm telling you, I woke up the other morning, it was 6 fucking degrees, and I went to start the truck, and it was like, the fuck are you doing?
It's 4 in the morning.
Nigga, it's 6 degrees. We ain't doing this. That fucking V8 was like, that shit ain't happening.
We'll make
you better go
a cup of coffee. Try again in a half
for
hour.
real. You better go start that fucking minivan over there. We ain't doing it.
Oh, let Lynch talk about the game now.
Do it. Talk about it. Sorry.
So we got there about half an hour before the game. Got to our nosebleed seats. We were in section 307.
Oh, no box seats this time?
No, not for, we got a good deal of tickets. It's buy one, get one. So that's not bad.
There you go. Free is for me.
Yeah. Wasn't too bad at the beginning of the game, but when that wind started whipping across field, we were behind the Patriots bench on that side of the field, and as soon as the wind started whipping across, we made it to halftime.
Could you hock a loogie on them from up there? Or did you have to go for distance? Right? It would have been hail.
I would at least have hit one of the cheerleaders or the line judges.
I'd have hit one of the cheerleaders. I'm sorry, we're talking about 2 different things.
But yeah, we stuck it out till halftime. Then went inside. I went to the pro shop, bought a little thing or two, and then we're watching the game in the pro shop. And right across the street is this really awesome pizza place called Citizen Crust. She's like, "You want to get pizza? We can watch the game in the bar." I'm like, well, "Let's go!" So we finished the game off there. Had a good time with that. Sat around for about 2 hours waiting to get the fuck out of Gillette. But no, it was a great day. I mean, I love going to see a game, and I don't know if you guys watched that game, but the first quarter with the kickoffs and the re-kicks and the re-kicks, I was like, what in the fuck is going on? And then the call that was made on the field that the roughing the kicker, dude jumped clearly over him, and he done fucked himself up when he was moving around. He fell. That guy wasn't knocked down. But anyway,
it's still the Patriots. They're still going to give them a break because they still think Brady's there.
Yeah, and I had a good day. It was a good day. It was a good Sunday to spend with the wife. Get the hell out of the house and away from the menagerie for an afternoon. Evening.
Very nice.
But yeah, that was good. I just love going to fly football, and New England fans are just fucking incredible. I mean, it's just the energy you get from the crowd.
I'll buy
It's
it.
like and a Boston game. I think it's all New England sports like that.
Yeah, I'm
And
not gonna lie.
even to the New York Giants and the Jets, all the way across up to all the Boston teams, New England. It's just that vibe. We're the bullies. You get the Broad Street Bullies for hockey. I mean, that's just how we are. We're New England. We don't give a fuck. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
that's kind of the whole reason. I got to be honest. I'm an hour and 40 minutes away, which is about the same ride you take to Foxborough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about an hour and 40 minutes away from, for the first time in my life, and Mr. Burns will attest to this. I've been a Broncos fan since birth. Even the Super Bowls where they got the one against Kansas City, it was bad, but we took a beating. So for me to be this close to be able to go to a home game and to go to Mile High Stadium for the first time in my life and watch
Yeah,
my team play at Mile High Stadium and to be able to go through the fucking pro shop with shit that's there that you can only get in stadium.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
yeah. I know.
I'm gonna touch myself all the way up
I got
there
the
and
same issue going on when I go to Florida in the next couple weeks. Atlanta, Hart, Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson Airport has an Atlanta Falcons pro shop. I haven't been to a game since 1861 at the stadium, and I can't wait to go because I'm either going to lose a paycheck or I just want to touch everything.
yeah, I mean,
but, Herm's right. He was.
I had a
born with
sweatshirt that was that my parents sent me that they drove up there when they first moved here, and it was a pro shop only sweatshirt. Jen made the mistake of drying it on high after I wore it one time.
Baby clothing.
Yep. So we're talking about in New England, it might as well have been a one-off sweatshirt.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Nobody in there could even, you can't order it, you can't find it, you can't even find a picture online. You have to be in the fucking pro shop at the stadium. And yeah, she washed it once, so she made up for it. I'm not gonna lie. She bought me a bunch of shit and bought me a nice sweatshirt. But yeah, like I had this really cool shit. So the ability to go to that stadium and be able to pick up shit that nobody in the planet is going to be able to wear, because not everybody around here goes up to the games. They buy all their shit the same way you and I do back home in most of the stores and shit. So nobody orders the NFL shit because we live that close.
Yep.
It's everywhere. I mean, Walmart has a Broncos section in this town bigger than like the men's clothes section back home.
Sure.
When I went to Charlotte, that's how it was with the Panthers. You go
Like
into
there's
a
literally
Walmart in
like
Charlotte,
there's half of them. There's literally a complete section that's a giant chunk of the store that's just Denver gear. And we were in there the other day, and she's like, "Holy shit, this is a real thing." I'm like, "Yeah, this shit will all be gone, and in 2 weeks it'll all be new shit."
Yeah. Well, speaking of Denver, Colorado Springs, the greater Herman area out there. We'll get back to the story. Have you heard some of the news reports and some of the ways they're trying to spin this story?
I haven't
directions?
heard. I got to be honest. The news outlets here locally are not really super spinny.
Okay, good. They're treating it with respect.
They're treating it with respect, and they are covering. They're Walter Cronkiting it, and
Well, it's home turf, so
it
of
is
course they're
home
gonna-
turf,
they're-
so they
yeah,
have
they're
to
gonna
tread
handle it very
extremely
gently.
lightly,
Yes.
and they cannot be dicks about it because they'll get slaughtered. I mean, the station that's in Colorado Springs, Channel 5 NBC KOA, is where I got my information when I broke it yesterday morning, is also an affiliate here in Pueblo. Like they have there's a secondary a studio and here in town. So we're really close by Colorado standards, being only 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
So
on the road.
you know what I mean? Like it's literally like Colorado Springs is like the difference for like back home. It's like going to Waterford.
Right.
You know what I mean? The distance is twice as long, but it's that because the state is 5 times as big as Connecticut. So
Yeah.
40 minutes is not a huge travel. But yeah, so everything is coming to us directly, and it's kind of very similar to the way it was when we were home with the Sandy Hook thing. We got information and we knew things in Connecticut
Way
5 to
before
6
anybody
hours before
Yeah.
National had checked it and broke it.
Right.
So it's very similar, the same here. I'm getting information. Yesterday, I had information 3 hours or so before I didn't say anything to you guys before I knew the whole story, but they were talking about it 3 to 4 hours before Willie Geist broke it on the NBC national news, and NBC broke it first for national. So, yeah, it's the guy just went in and did his thing, but the news has been very very right down the middle. Just covering more along the lines of who did what and first responders and interviews with people that were there, but not really. I'm not seeing a whole shitload of political agenda in the news
because
here.
it shouldn't be that way.
So I haven't really watched the national news. I've only watched the local.
And I haven't really been in front of the TV.
Oh, for me, it
hours?
wasn't the TV because I think it was this morning when I had.
I was going to say, you had to have notifications popping on shit up on Google or something like that. You know, everybody's got that shit.
Yeah.
And you get these idiots like Don Lemon who are out there saying it's, the ultra right MAGA hat wearing, and then you have the pro Republican, news outlets saying this guy was a Muslim extremist and a, avid LGBTQ hater. Look, this guy, first of all, it is a hate crime. I know it's fancy.
Well, I broke that today. I broke that today with you guys. I watched the interview locally and the press conference locally about that, and they will be charged with hate crimes, and those are federal offenses. The guy he will be charged with murder as well as hate crimes. So,
well, the difference,
but they haven't gone into all of that. Nobody wants to play that card here. It's local and it's real.
Right.
So wherever, Detroit, pick another town 500 miles away. To them, it's something completely different than the way it's happening here. And nobody wants to treat it with that. Nobody wants to taint it with that bullshit. We just want to know what's going on in our state.
I'm going to commend the news folks in Colorado for treating it with the respect it deserves. Depending on which national news, website, and that's where I got it, was websites reading this, either they're MAGA hat wearing crazy or they're an extreme Muslim refugee, non-documented citizen, yada, yada. It's like, why don't you let these folks have their moment to grieve? They've got the guy. He's going to talk. He's a young guy. He's known to police. He threatened his mother last year with a homemade bomb.
Right. We've heard all of those facts and that background, but there's been none of that.
We have no motive other than
right, and that's the thing. Like all the news seems to want to know around here is what the real story is, as far as why he did it, what was the reason. We still don't know that yet. We're still working on that. He will talk. They've just been real forthcoming and on just the facts, man.
Well, let's be clear. Nobody goes on a shooting rampage
for no reason
unless you're mentally ill. That's the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, to whatever degree, temporarily, long term. You know what I mean? Like there's a dozen different ways you can be wrong mentally with that situation, temporarily, the whole thing. So they haven't made a lot of judgment here because we don't know everything yet here. And
but the mainstream media is going to jump all over and try to.
Oh yeah,
you know,
well
Dr. Phil the shit out of this.
I called that yesterday morning. I was like, yo, as soon as I saw the local press conference before it aired nationally, because I'm sure everybody else saw it as a recording, I watched it live. The US state's attorney was there. Our Colorado state's attorney general was there. Yeah, the police chief and the fire chief and the director of the American Medical Service Ambulance Service. You know what I mean? So everybody was there, and I lost my train of thought, but
That's okay.
But everybody was there, and everybody was important. So the state's attorney, the U.S., they were talking about the FBI. So you knew right off the rip, at least we did here. It was big. When the U.S. state's attorney shows up, that's because he's looking to make a case. So if it's even remotely possible, you know what I mean, under federal law, he's gonna go into it. So him being here, just the fact that he was here that fast for that press conference already told us that there was gonna be, like I said, U.S. state's attorney's here, attorney general's here, fucking states, this, that, and the other thing is here. This is big. This is gonna go real fucking big.
It's not gonna go away quietly.
And then an hour later, it broke national.
Like I said, I haven't really had the opportunity to read the news in like a day and a half, and a lot only things like I wouldn't know about this unless you hadn't messaged me. I wasn't
right, like you'd have caught it. You'd have caught it 3 days
phone
from now with an update on the killer.
And I was like, "Wow, that's cool."
Yeah, I thought it was I thought it was kind of cool that, given what the three of us, and we do the show, and all of a sudden there's shit going down in my state, and I just thought it was kind of cool. We broke some shit, man. I mean, we all knew what the fuck was going on before the rest of the country did.
Yeah. So I had a.
So you saw it here. You heard it here.
Yeah.
Oh, this fucking junction. Right here.
Are you gonna die?
I might.
Please don't die. And if you do, I need the key to the sock drawer.
That's the cool thing. There's no key.
I'm on my way.
I'll beat you.
I don't know. There's so much about every time there's a mass shooting, whether it's 5 people or 50 people, everybody wants to start pointing fingers before all the facts come in.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know everything here, so nobody's pointing shit.
Right.
The people here are really judgmental, but they're also really kind of hold on a minute. It's the culture is different here. It's very much so the Wild West in a lot of aspects. The police don't bother you for a whole lot. I watched a guy the other night riding down the sidewalk on, you remember the Coleman 200cc mini bikes they're a lawnmower engine you start? No lights, no nothing, right? This guy's just driving this fucking thing around town because that's his mode of transportation. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. The cops don't. The cops were sitting there at the light as he drove by and didn't even fucking it. So there's a lot that gets.
He's happy. The cops are happy.
That's right. He's not doing nothing. That nigga just trying to get to work or get to the store to get some milk. He's trying to get to the loafing jug.
Isn't everybody?
Always, perpetually, gas, milk, bread. You just always at the loafing jug.
And don't forget, behind the counter with the brown paper sack is the good magazine.
No, they just have them out. They don't even out here. We don't even have them in a brown paper sack.
Ooh.
They're just out. But yeah, a lot of things.
Copy of Beaver Hunt.
it's very much so the Wild West. But then on other things, they know exactly how they feel, and damn it, that's how it's supposed to be. But it's different out here, but they apparently, given the situation that happened in Springs, um, the first responder aspect and whatnot is on their shit. So and that's good to hear. You've got a major city, and they're there in 3 minutes. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
it's kind of good for the city for that. They know what the fuck they're doing, which is nice. It's good to see that shit.
Just goes to show the difference of you can train anybody to do something to a certain level. That shows that these guys were trained way above and beyond those clowns down in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They got their shit together and they know what to do, and every piece, every component greased and ready to go.
Right. They might
Hit the
not,
ground running.
they might not be sticklers on what they'll bust people for, but when the shit goes down,
When the serious shit happens,
when the
they know
shit
what they're
goes
doing.
down, they were ready.
Yeah,
Like, Cypress Hill.
yeah, we ready.
When the shit goes down, you better be ready. So
That's
there it
right.
is.
Recognize.
Yo.
So yeah, for me, I don't take a lot of anything away from mainstream media. Everybody's got their agenda to pick. I've been sticking Herm, as you know, with you on the news throughout this whole thing. I'm gonna tip my hat to not only the patrons that subdued this gentleman, to the cops that arrived in 3 minutes, to the owners
right
that were
back.
there in 5. You go right ahead. The community, that feel, that sense of community that this club had to, okay, yeah, there's a large swath of people that are going to run for cover, and then there's the others, the real heroes that said, fuck this, we're going and we're going to subdue them by hook or by crook. We're going to put our lives in your way so you can get to safety. And
Yeah.
I hope that if there, is a god of journalism, that those people get recognized nationwide by the news media for doing such a courageous thing.
Yeah, that kind of blew me away, and I want to say that I think the entire society is kind of getting numb to this whole thing. So those people probably are like, what do we have to lose? Really? Just fight. It's
We're
fight
already
or
getting shot
flight.
at. Right.
It's fight or flight, and they chose to fight.
Mm-hmm. And good on them.
Good on them, man. Bravery. That's being brave.
Don't
much
you
like
come in here and mess up my show. I'm trying to watch people.
I hope Cinnamon beat his ass. Not only the people that subdued him, I want the first responding cops, much like with the Dimebag Darrell shooting back in 2004. They talked about the fans that tried to subdue this guy and unfortunately lost their lives. They were put on a pedestal, as was the officer whose name I'll never forget, James Niggemeyer. Put him on a pedestal. These are the people that stop. That was his given name. Stop it.
I understand that.
Niggemeyer. Nigga Meyer.
Nigga Meyer.
Not that. You know what? Nigge. It's the white version.
It's the white nigga. All right, I got it.
The extreme white version.
Nigga Meyer, Oscar Meyer. My baloney has a first name. It's Nigge, and not another letter.
Anyway, but no, I want these people to have a parade. I want the heroes, feting for these people, because how many lives did they save by doing what they did? Starting with the patrons that subdued the gunman, moving to the cops that were there in 180 seconds. So many things could have gone terribly wrong.
For real, less time than it takes to microwave a monster burrito. I mean,
that's what I'm
literally.
And these guys deserve all the praise and all the credit in the world. And once again, I'm gonna, any shooter that wants to go into a gay club, a linebacker in drag is still a linebacker.
Still a linebacker.
Yeah.
And
Gonna fuck you up.
That's right.
Gonna fold you like a fucking chair.
I'm telling you, that dude's gonna be the most popular dude in prison. I swear to God.
I swear to God.
He might
Yo,
want to pull
yo,
his
come
teeth
here.
out one by one.
Tell him
just to,
again. Tell him
make it
again
easy.
tell him again what happened when you did that.
Tell him what you did.
Tell him what
Tell him what you
happened when
did.
you did what you did. Do what you do when you did what you did to me.
Oh my God! Wow.
Oh, where's the 30-year button?
Jermaine Jackson for the win. Amazing. That came up on my shuffle 3-4 days ago. I'm like, why don't you
Do what you do when you did what you did to me.
Oh,
Love is that I don't.
that's the same line he's been singing for 30 years.
Same
Don't know
line.
the line, but then I'm gonna see.
I know the tune, but don't know the words. So what?
I was crazy for you.
You was
You were
crazy,
crazy
for
for
me.
Stick around. There'll be some.
Stick around. We
Popeye
literally.
part two at the end.
I think we need an after show.
We have to get a Patreon so people
For
will
real,
watch
it's the
that shit.
Patreon for the after show karaoke bit.
I want to hear more on Lynch on this story, but Herm, I gotta tell you, get your ass on the Patreon for Small Town Murder. It is coming. It is 7 days away. If you are still watching, we're gonna listen to it on Flannel Friday. It is the return of the Prisoner Dating Game, All Violent Felon Edition.
Oh no!
And Herm's
Oh,
tagline is
I got money to burn on that. Oh shit!
anything over the $5 level will get you all the back catalog, including
I
you're
have
a
one.
double winner.
I have one thing to say.
Yes,
What'd she do?
exactly. Hey, Jordan's
What
in
did
the
she
house.
do?
What up, Jordan? Oh my lord! So check that
Hey,
out when you get
boys.
a chance.
Boys,
That's Jordan.
I know.
That's the producer extraordinaire
Whoa.
who looks like he's got cancer hair from the
Is this-
Speedway review.
Is the white dude in the picture?
The white dude in the picture. That's his
All
wife.
right.
His beautiful wife. I think Taylor is her name.
Oh, I mean, because Jordan could be a female's name too. So I wanted to make sure I didn't
glad you did.
assume anything. Yeah, she got a nice smile. She got pretty eyes. Good for you, my man. Good for you.
And he's ugly as shit. So
Hey,
He's
yo,
keeping- he's-
yo, that
he's
mean you
keeping
know what
the
that
play
means?
outside his
You know what
cover.
that means? That means that motherfucker is funny because the ugliest dude on the planet in a bar with a couple of drinks, if I tell the right jokes, those panties coming off.
Dude, Emo Phillips has a wife. That's all I'm gonna say.
Dude, all I'm saying is big dick, sense of humor. I scored with my wife. I married way over my weight class. Big dick, sense of humor. It's
She
all
was-
it takes.
Your wife.
Good
your
for
wife
you,
was
Jordan. Good for
drunk-
two.
Your wife was drunk, and I think you double roofied her because you're a double winner.
Whatever. I'm not admitting shit. I just want to relax. I just want to take some pictures.
Oh my god!
I'll give you
go.
$50.
Well, hold up, baby.
All
I
right,
want to take
so
some
before we-
pictures,
be-
and I got
before-
fries.
Before we get to the back end of the show about the fantastic article that Herm sent us, what do you got to say to close this out on your thoughts on this shooting in Colorado?
Who, me?
No, Lynch, Captain
Oh.
Lunch to Dickhead or Dick
Oh,
Bag or
lunch to Dick.
Dick Muncher. Whatever.
Word. Captain Dick Munch lunch.
Ooh,
Yeah. I think it is probably one of the more violent crimes that's happened on our own soil, and it was an act of terrorism. I hope he hangs from a very tall tree by his nuts for the
Absolutely.
Wait, do they have the death penalty in Colorado? Oh, it's going to be a federal case. FBI's getting
yeah.
involved.
It's
Yeah.
federal.
Yeah,
It's a
So
federal
they can
case.
book him. So maybe he gets murder for Colorado, but the hate crime is going to be a federal charge.
Yeah.
He'll
So,
be swinging from something, but
He'll be swinging from
whether it's a
something.
noose or Big Bubba, Nasty Nate, whoever.
It doesn't matter. He
I'm
Welcome
somebody's bitch.
for real. I am somebody's bitch. I am a big deal here. You should ask.
But that being said, from what Herm has told me and
Did
from
you-
what I have heard just in blurbs, the local news is doing a bang up job keeping everyone informed only when they know what's actually going on.
Right. That's a
Um,
fantastic comment, Jordan. Thank you.
oh, thank you.
No, Chris. I'm Chris.
I'm Chris too. You know.
Are you? What
Yeah.
is a Chris?
Uh,
Us.
that's an episode.
Yeah, it is.
But no. I feel I have very strong empathy and sympathy for the victims, uh, both deceased and wounded, and the rest of the people in there who had to go through that event. Not something I ever would want to go through. Um, and that you guys said it in the text thread. What?
The comment Herm just put up that he wrote, a shit and the shit are two different things. I took a shit before the show. I am the
Yeah.
shit. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I can show you one, and you're looking at the other.
That's right. You're already looking at the other.
All right.
No, but my heart goes out to Colorado Springs. It's a terrible thing, and a terrible thing. And we'll just wait to the next one because
It was a horrible thing. Horrible job. We had to go in, make a lot of changes. Horrible thing. I blame Melania. Horrible thing.
Wow. Okay, Jordan, seeing the LGBTQ community being shot up breaks my heart because I have a LGBTQ community. I'm pretty sure that everyone who either watches this show, works on this show, or has heard of this show, and I'm not picking on you, Jordan, believe me, has someone in that community in their lives, and you kind of get scared for them because there are clubs like that here in New London. There are clubs like that down the way in Providence. There's probably clubs I don't even know about that exist all over the state, the country, etc. And they always say it with school shootings. Well, how could this happen here in my community? Well, if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere. The thing that has to be, in my opinion, has to be looked at is if you have someone who's mentally unstable, has a history of this stuff, somebody better be keeping an eye on this guy. They've let far too many people go who have lesser crimes that end up doing these shootings, like the guy in Vegas, like the kid who shot up Newtown. They had priors, and they're not doing their job keeping them or rehabilitating them. It's like, oh, it's your first offense? Here you go. Walk away. You're a nice kid. Just do better next time. No, fuck you. Put him in jail.
The whole Adam Lanza situation is, again, that's a whole episode of discussion. But how he had access to anything.
Herm, I can see your boogers.
Oh yeah, how he had access to any. Ooh.
Ew, fucker.
Any weapons of any kind is just ridiculous. There you go, flavor saver.
But it's like this, and I say it all the time when people go anti-gun. If you outlaw guns, only outlaws will have guns.
Well,
care about your laws, they'll find a way to get the weapon.
Right. As a person who supports citizens being able to own firearms, this is going to sound fucked up, and I don't want anybody to fucking come down on me for it. I'm really glad his choice of weapon was a long gun.
Interesting.
As somebody who supports the open carry, concealed carry of a handgun and the ability to defend yourself should the situation arise, and Colorado is that state. We have open carry here. You can walk down the fucking street with the biggest 44 on the planet strapped to your hip, and there's nobody assumes you're an illegal person or doing anything wrong until you do. But his choice of a long gun was good only for the fact that it does not allow the gun control lobbyists and the people on the left that want to just get rid of all of them. Nobody should have them. It's not a point of contention they can use to further their political agenda.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
There isn't a state on the planet that in the United States that is anti-long gun, and the fact that he used one does not promote a political agenda. Is all I'm saying, and nobody can use it to make a political agenda happen. We have to just take it for what it is.
He could have gone in there with a semi-automatic shotgun and a couple drums of ammunition. He's going to do just as much damage, if not more.
Right? Look
More
at the
collateral
Columbine
damage.
kids, what they had on them.
And they had a whole fucking. They had an arsenal. They were a walking. They were a walking.
They were a death machine walking.
Yeah. They were assholes.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that. All right, I'm going to throw the plug out here because Jordan's got his side show, Nothing But Talk, tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. They're going to be talking about the death of the Power Ranger actor Jason David Frank.
I read that.
I figure that's what happens to you when you throw dudes, when you throw guys out their own car to beat the ass, and you jump in and talk about the Yellow Ranger
too.
Dude, have you ever seen that bit about the I'm gonna jump the whole Zord to beat your ass?
Yeah.
And there's a video where a guy does a commentary, and the Green Ranger comes in and comes in and whoops everybody's ass, throws them out the Zord or whatever the fuck it is. But there is a farce video that I'm referring to. It's really fucking funny if anybody hasn't seen it.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, talking about bitch and with a slap, and what kind of disrespectful combination is this? And it's really kind of funny. Yeah, I'm not sure. I wasn't big on the whole Power Ranger thing.
We were too old for that at that point.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel that Power Rangers are. Yeah, see, Jordan saw it. You know, this in case y'all motherfuckers look, because like Jordan knows. Like the guy comes in, he's like in the video pause. He's like, look, this is what the green light, and if you black, you don't understand what I'm talking about. If you're not black, you don't know what I'm talking about. But this is a green light. It's called about on site. So watch this. And guy comes in. Yellow Ranger doesn't even know what's going on. Yellow Ranger comes in. Boom, hands. Merry Christmas. Video, if you find it, it's hilarious as
look for
shit.
it. Okay, so Jason David Frank was not the guy who killed the people on the boat. That was another Power Ranger, Skylar De Leon.
Yep.
Who is now transitioning to be a woman and also sentenced to die in California by lethal injection.
Ah, bless his heart.
Because of the murder.
Ah, bless its heart.
Yeah,
right. But yeah, I always felt Power Rangers.
Triple winner.
Ooh, he was a triple winner.
He went up on a triple murder. Wow. All right, then. You're a special kind of asshole.
Yeah, I always felt that Power Rangers were just guys who rode sport bikes who made sure that all of the gear that they wore when they rode matched their sport bike. Like literally, come on, that's a Power Ranger. Come on, you've all seen them. You driving down the highway, and the guy's on a Kawasaki, and it's a great shade of green. But this asshole's in white, black, and green. And come on, man, you know he looked like a Power Ranger. It's just a Power Ranger on a motorcycle.
I know a dude like that, but his bike was blue, black, and white, and he had the matching jacket and the helmet. Yeah, he looked like he looked like a fucking Power Ranger.
Yep.
Either that or a really bad independent.
Yeah, because the rest of us wear like jeans and a leather jacket if we wear anything at all. Bikers. You know, well, because I usually just wear a motherfucking t-shirt. Because if I go down, I go down. I am trying to look
you got
pretty.
Padding though. You're set up.
Yo, is that some kind of a fat joke?
Yes,
I think it was.
All right, just checking, making sure. I know.
All right,
so
I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I do. Like, I mean, you know.
I mean, at the end of the day, look, yes, I am body shaming you.
But you know, it just all that really means is it's okay. I'm good with that. I do it too. All that means is that because there's more of me, it just means I get to leave more on the cheese grater we call asphalt on the highway.
That's right. And you know what else helps is that sweater you've got on your back. That's like, that'll stop the friction. You'll get less heat.
I was just gonna say it's like Teflon. It's like Teflon.
No road rash with that sweater you got on your back.
Herm, you should put on a shirt. Herm, Jesus Christ, Herm, it's July. Why are you wearing a sweater? Dude, I'm not even wearing a shirt. That's just the velour. That's literally just the hair on my back, bro.
The velour. Listen to you.
This nigga said velour. Velour.
fine Corinthian leather.
Oh, he went the Ricardo Montalban route.
Ooh, Corinthian leather.
Cordoba.
The
What do we got,
19.
like
I was just
1970
going there. The
1976
1979 Chrysler Cordoba.
Cordoba.
Corinthian leather.
Rich
Mwah.
Corinthian leather.
Rich
Wow.
Corinthian leather.
Planet of the
Fine.
Apes, Jordan? No, it's the Planet of the Herm. You should see him. Don't let him walk around without a shirt on. If you have children around, get them out of the room.
We had a name.
Yo,
for
I
it.
got it lit up. We can do it
Don't
right
do
here. I
it.
just spin around and just.
Don't do it. It doesn't translate in the camera.
No, I'm gonna have to do it. That's
just
it.
looks
Do
like
we-
you haven't
we got
washed.
chest hair. No, see, it just looks like I'm
No.
dirty.
Yeah.
No, really, it's like a goddamn sweater. Swear to God, you look. My wife calls me the silverback. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say.
I call you George the Animal.
Oh
Steele.
no, I need like one of those. Not a razor, not a razor. I need to carry like what I need is like those like lawnmowers that are automatic that you just set out on the lawn. I need
Nope.
like a body one. It just like travels around my body and takes the
Oh.
hair out.
Nope, Herm. I'm going to take you back about 10, 15 episodes, and you're going to be singing that song in your head. Carry a razor down the back that I must shave.
That's what I'm saying. Carry a razor all the way down to my butt crack. For
Down my
real, it's bad.
spine.
Carry a razor. Damn it, Herm, he says.
Oh my God! All right, so it's kind of your show tonight because you sent us a fantastic article, and I would love to discuss it with the people.
Yeah, it wasn't a meme, it wasn't a TikTok video. It was an actual article written by somebody who took the time to put the article together. And it was basically about how Generation X gets it and nobody else does. All right, and there's a lot about our generation that makes us extremely unique to a bunch of other generations. We have our lifetimes have seen both sides of the coin.
Lasts and firsts.
Very much so. We were lasts and firsts all over the place. We were the last generation to prepare school papers or whatnot and be allowed to prepare them on a typewriter. And we were also the first generation to prepare them on a computer. All right. We were the first generation to have real single mothers, and there was a lot of them. All right. We were also one of the first generations to be introduced extremely early because of the divorce rate, that marriage was kind of a social construct and not this everlasting thing per se.
Gotcha.
Per se. And that the one person forever is not necessarily good for everybody. And there is a such, and we realize that there is serial monogamy. But we were also the first generation where both parents worked all the time, full-time jobs. We came home to empty houses. We came home to where the key is hidden. You use the key to get in the house. You put the key back. You go in the house, you lock the door, and you don't do anything till I come home.
Yep, latchkey kids.
All right, we were
absolutely.
We were the last generation to understand that and to know that if the president was on, it ruined your night for television for the next hour to two.
Because you only had 3 hours.
I was going to say you had maybe 6 channels, PBS, a couple, and then maybe a local or two.
Yeah.
The three majors, the PBS, and a local or two.
Yep.
And he was on everywhere.
Yep.
All of it.
Now, if you
All right,
don't
we were
mind-
also the first generation to experience 200 channels.
If you don't mind, in the time it took you to, and I was listening, trust me.
Go
I
ahead.
read the entire article. I'll read it here.
Yeah, go ahead. It's
And for
not
those
that
that are-
bad. Read the article. It's good. It's a great article.
All right. Life moves pretty fast. Why Gen X got it before the rest of you. If you're thinking got what, You've already proved the point. This was written by Kara Post Kennedy. Look, we've all heard the jokes. We know how you like to talk about us. And now you're saying there might never be a Gen X president, as if Donald Trump did some sort of credit to his generation with that role. Donald
He
Trump is
didn't.
not Gen X, right? I don't
Well,
think
no,
is.
he was talking. He's a boomer,
Right.
but he's as if to say Donald Trump did anything to make boomers look good.
Right. And that's the thing. We don't care.
Nope.
You know this about us because we get it, and you likely don't. This applies to like 90% of the people we know under the age of 30.
Yeah,
with the
90 to
exception of
95% any day of the week.
Right. With the exception of 6 people I know under 30, this is it. We have been described as some sort of neglected middle child between boomers and millennials. But we are not your mother's Jan Brady or our own, frankly. We were the first generation to experience a high volume of moms that worked outside the home, divorced parents, and friends coming safely out of the closet. We were the last generation to have technology-free childhoods and to learn patience waiting for Saturday morning cartoons or our favorite song to come on the radio. We were the first generation to write papers on computers and the last generation to use typewriters. We were the last generation to know what time. Oh, we were the last generation to know a time when a missed call was in fact a missed call.
Yep.
And the first generation to play video games. We were the last generation who spent largely unsupervised childhoods on dangerous playground equipment. We were the
That
first generation.
merry-go-round.
Yep. We were the first generation to grow up with the diversity of Sesame Street, the lessons in community from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and the brilliant bonkers of the Electric Company.
Amen.
We get it. Our unique positioning in history gave us a perspective that some of you are still struggling to understand. And this spans all generations, not just the one older than us. Because some of you who are younger than we are just don't get what it was like before we came along. And some of you who are older than us refuse to process the new information. So let me break this down for you. We did a lot of the heavy lifting, so you all didn't have to, and we are exhausted.
Right.
You know that statistic that people love to quote, even though it's no longer true? You know, the one about 50% of marriages ending in divorce? Yeah, well, that was our parents.
That was us.
We got that marriage. I don't agree that marriage is a social construct, but I like the sentence, so I'll read it as it's written.
You understand the sentiment, though. I don't. Its wording could be different, but the
Right.
sentiment is exactly the same. It's not this forever monument thing all the time.
I like where the sentence is going. We got that marriage is a social construct and not a holy mandate way before the rest of you did. We had the first openly gay TV character appearing during our childhoods. Ditto for the first openly gay elected official. AIDS was first detected as we were entering our adolescence and sexual
Junior high.
awakening years. We were the first generation to become sexually active with this specter over our heads. Roots was first aired during our childhoods, and we were allowed to watch it. We
That's right.
were the generation that grew
In
up watching.
school.
Exactly.
In
were the
school, we
generation
watched that shit.
that grew up watching The Jeffersons, What's Happening, Good Times, and Sanford and Son.
My father
We
hated Good
were the
Times.
first kids who grew up in a country with civil rights laws.
Yes.
We were the first generation to grow up back when Roe versus Wade, okay, incorrect, but when Roe versus Wade was the law of the land. But I get the sentiment. Not that we took it for granted. We marched, and the author personally, in D.C. in 1989, when it was a time in one of the biggest, largest political rallies in U.S. history.
Yep.
We were the first generation that grew up knowing mom could bring home the bacon. We were the MTV generation. Our teenage years were flooded with images of androgyny and gender fluid icons like Bowie, Boy George, Grace Jones, and Prince. We
Amen.
were the first generation that saw men and women enrolled in college in equal numbers. We were the first generation to be taught about environmental sustainability from a young age. That's called recycling. And land management to global warming. We are the generation most likely to consider sustainable factors when investing. Guess what? We get it. Our childhoods featured the end of the Vietnam War, the Watergate scandal, 3 Mile Island meltdown, the Jonestown massacre, the Iranian hostage crisis. We waited in the back seat of our car.
And if I
hours
can
just to
clarify
get
real
gas.
real
Go.
quick,
Yes.
all of those things he just read off, we dealt with that and we lived through that. All of us, three of us, correct me if I'm wrong, in elementary school.
Yep. And on top
As
of that,
as
we didn't
as
need,
5 to 8 as 8-year-olds, we dealt with all of that.
yep, and we didn't need a counselor to come in to check on our
Nope.
fragile fucking feelings.
Nope.
Next kid I hear, they say they have PTSD from watching some shit on TV. I'm gonna put a foot in their ass and give them ASSD, motherfucker. Our teenage years saw the Challenger explosion, the Exxon Valdez water.
We
tanker,
watched it
oil
in
tanker
science
filter.
class. In case anybody doesn't understand that, they called us all in. They put it on TV, and we watched everybody fucking explode.
And
Yep,
no
we were in
counselors
English
were
class.
anywhere. In
And
the
then
room.
we held the rest of class.
Yep. And also the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Yes.
As young adults, we were in the crosshairs of Operation Desert Storm.
Mhm.
When 9/11 happened, we were most of the boots on the ground.
Mhm.
We were many of the victims. We were the last generation to graduate from high school before the escalation of school shootings began, and the first generation to send our children to school with the threat of that hanging over us as the norm. Trickle-down economics destroyed the middle class before we even had our legs underneath us.
Yes.
We are the first American generation who have not improved on our parents' financial situation because wages stagnated while inflation skyrocketed. We are the last generation to get an affordable college education.
Yep.
Generation X broke new ground in music. Kurt Cobain, Tupac to name a few. Comedy, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Tina Fey, Jon Stewart. Innovation, Elon Musk, Larry Page. Athletics, Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, the Williams sisters.
We think different.
Right. And where we would be without John Cusack, Julia Roberts, Robert Downey Jr., Christian Bale, Will Smith, Ryan Gosling, and a number of others that will most likely be the final generation of true Hollywood stars. And the children we have raised are groundbreakers. They're rejecting social stereotypes, patriarchal rule, systemic discrimination. They get that race, gender, and even heterosexuality, I don't buy that one, but I'm going to read it as it's written, are social constructs. We raise them this way because we get it. And while you're making those jokes about, do you want fries with that? We were quietly living up to one of our anthems of our youth. Everybody wants to rule the world. And we did it quietly.
Yes.
You've never seen it and you've never noticed it. We barely noticed it ourselves, but we're just being who we are. If you doubt any of what I'm saying here, just Google it and thank Generation X for inventing Google. And now we can unapologetically say, you're welcome. And if you don't know why, it's because you don't get it.
You don't get it.
That was, other than a few sentences like I sent to you, I said I agree with 95% of that.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is the most
spot pretty much spot on, well written, non fucking TikTok meme, like non bullshit, like it that it's beautifully written.
Absolutely. And while there's certain things in there that I would pick out that go, okay, that's bullshit, but that's bullshit. That's just the way that's my personal preference. And
Right,
guess what?
right.
Because we're all Gen X, I can say that, and neither of you are going to call me an ist or a phobe because of it.
Right, and the person who wrote it would be like, "All right, I get it."
Yeah, and we'd have a conversation, not unlike
Right.
the one we're having now.
Right.
And one of the things that I loved about this article was it brought up the civil rights roots, the Jeffersons, all of that. We really were the first generation to see people as people and to accept all sorts of people.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
you say
Not
that,
just
Chris.
not just the same people of your ethnic background in your
Or
community,
religion or job or
but
whatever.
just
Lynch,
people.
Lynch
Black,
made
white,
a
look,
point.
just people. Go, Lynch, go.
Our generation was the first generation on television where a man and wife slept in bed together.
Mm-hmm.
When like you were saying, it was reflective of more of real life than the haha funny comedies and all the
Right.
weird shit that was on TV. It was a reflection of what we saw, and television shows from that era, the Wonder Years,
Mm-hmm.
30 something, all those shows that we watched as kids, and then the action shows and all that other stuff.
I got to look up the name because if
that
I
was
hear Go
that
ahead.
was
I'm
groundbreaking.
sorry.
That was groundbreaking TV, and we saw a lot of things that were we had first in television.
Okay,
You
so
know,
when I hear some of these, young kids, Generation Y, millennial, whoever, going nuts because look, there's an interracial couple on this commercial and they're hugging and kissing and it's so groundbreaking. I want to see Herm's face. I want him to come back before I break this one out because you'll both remember it.
Mhm.
So when these kids say, "Oh, I saw an interracial couple on a commercial and it's so groundbreaking and it's so wonderful that we can get past this." Tom and Helen Willis on the Jeffersons
Word.
were the first interracial couple on television. Thank
Yep.
you. Fuck you. Bye.
Bye. Yep.
You're not
Yep.
breaking ground. You can break ground, and you perhaps will break ground, but it's not going to be making up pronouns, and it's not going to be taking away 1 billion years of mammalian history. You have to find your own way. We did. Now it's time for you to do it.
Well,
Yes,
they have
the way I
no,
look
and
at it.
and we
they
did
have
it.
no map.
And we did it in an era where, unlike today, any sort of self-care wasn't really readily available.
I want
So
Lynch to
we
say what
we
he said one more time because that hit right
we
home.
we kind of had to figure out how to do it with our own methods of coping.
Say it,
we
Lynch.
had we had no map. They have no map. We had a map. We spent most of our time growing up fixing holes and patches of the fixing holes and repairing shit that our parents broke along the way. We were we but we had the forethought and vision to see. All right, we know our parents made this mistake. We're not going to.
We saw we
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 saw
had we had warning signs.
we saw
had-
we saw the holes they made in the drywall.
Yeah.
What we did
were
was
patching
patch
behind it.
them.
Yep.
What we did was patch them and then not allow a lot of those holes to be made in our house.
Right. And
We cherry picked the best parts of our parents and rejected the worst parts and then tried to bestow that into our children.
Yep. And I just lost my train of thought, but no,
Sorry, bro.
it's
I'm
all right.
sorry.
It happens, especially when you're old as fuck like me.
Well, you are.
Word. Yo, not for real. But everybody's like, oh, 50's not that old. Bitch, 50's only young when you die at 50.
Oh, that's a good call.
Yeah.
It's like I tell
so
people all
young.
the time. I feel young until I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that I have to take 3 a leave with my coffee at 6 a.m. just to be able to walk at 9 is.
Oh, and while we're on the subject of shit that we did first, myself being, I didn't find out till I was in my late 20s, we were the first generation to have identifiable and real learning disability. Not that it didn't happen before, but it was identified and dealt with. Before that, you were just lazy.
You were just lazy
Or
or
the
not
dumb kid.
applying yourself, or you were just stupid and
You're the
dumb.
dumb kid.
Mhm.
Parked in the corner.
We were the first kids. We were the first generation where a speech therapist or a writing therapist or some type of person like that in elementary school, right, was there to help you. You know what I mean? And it was the first generation where somebody, for me in elementary school, it was Mrs. Krug. And Mrs. Krug would come and get a student here or there and take them when it was reading and time and this, and they did their thing and came back. But yeah, we were the first generation to not apply the stigma to the kid just needs some help. And I mean, kids are horrible and kids are rough, so they're bad, but we were the first generation where that became a normality within the school system.
We knew how to help, or we were gonna
right, and the parents weren't fighting it, saying, "Don't you say that about my kid? He ain't stupid."
Well, I can show you. We have a problem that we can fix, or we can work around. My point I was trying to make earlier is that our generation matured a hell of a lot faster than any generation behind us.
Absolutely.
Well, by the time we were 15, we were adults, at 14, 15 years old. We were doing adult things.
Well, we
making
thought we
adult
were going to
decisions.
die every day of our lives at
Well,
eight,
'cause we did dumb
at
shit.
8 with the Cold War. I mean, every
Well,
fucking
that-
other week
that-
we thought we were going to fucking die.
That was a worry. Or if you ever got into Herm's car on a Friday night, you thought you were going to die.
That was always a possibility. And
one other thing,
never
if I may bring it up-
intentionally, just,
right.
you know.
And another thing, when we were in school, maybe 2 or 3 kids were on Ritalin, not the entire class.
Yeah.
Right.
A kid in our class, we saw the Challenger blow up. We saw the hostage situation in Iran. You know, we saw some horrific shit. I watched Bud
Driving
Dwyer,
around everywhere and with yellow ribbons on everything.
I watched Bud Dwyer kill himself on television during a press conference, and at no point did I
Hey,
ever
man,
have
nice shot.
did I ever say I have PTSD.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
Yeah, we literally watched him kill himself right there.
A battered woman can have PTSD. A soldier can have PTSD. A cop, a first responder. Let's just put first responder all on the table. Any one of the fantastic people that helped us in our time of need can have PTSD.
Yeah,
kid
there's
who
a lot
got
of shit
yelled
going
at-
on.
A
No.
kid who got yelled at, you can go fuck off.
Well, a person who went through a traumatic experience in their life and has PTSD, I'll excuse that because tragic event. You
Sure.
don't know. You don't know what happened. It's not my, and I'm not going to ask. But
It's not
you're
like
right.
your daddy yelled at you and now PTSD.
I corrected. I corrected my
Right,
son.
you
Oh my
know,
God.
the
Oh my God, Tyler.
Menendez defense.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Yeah, that's another thing we OJ Simpson, bitches.
OJ Simpson. Yep. Dude, do you remember? You sat there. I laid on my bed. You sat in the chair. We watched that fucking shit on the TV like it
When
was.
we should have been watching the fucking Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still pissed off about that.
But you know, like we watched all of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It just happened. We watched Waco burn.
I was going
Exactly.
to say Branch Davidian. They were
And
We
correct.
called
us.
the radio station and requested we didn't start the fire from the Branch Davidian
And
compound.
the 3 of us, coming from southeastern Connecticut, most of our lives, also lived with a specter. Not that we were in danger, but friends of ours could have been in danger with a serial killer in the area that was killing teenage and young women
Yep.
at
Michael
a
Ross.
ridiculous clip. Michael Ross.
At a nice healthy pace.
Mm-hmm.
At a medium pace.
So let's not sugarcoat shit. And I'm not picking on the younger generation. There are things going on today that are scary as hell. The shooting being one of them. I don't care if you're,
Yep.
again, I've said I don't care what your preference
Yep.
is, but if that didn't happen in a gay nightclub, it could have happened in a biker nightclub.
Any
It could have happened
nightclub.
in a straight nightclub.
It could be any group,
And
group
to
that
paraphrase Eddie Murphy,
would be disenfranchised by
not
the
my club,
locals.
yes, your club too. This can happen to you. And it's a very scary world we live in for a lot of reasons.
Mhm.
But we had a lot more fears going on, and we survived. And we didn't
We
cry.
were
and we didn't
desensitized
call
to it.
hate. Go ahead, Lynch.
We're desensitized to it. By the time we got to our teenage years, 14 to say 18, we had already seen shit. We, like Mike said, Challenger blowing up, Ronald
Right,
Reagan getting shot live on television.
Twice. The Pope
Pope.
getting smoked.
And we saw that, and we were like, "Ooh, that's tragic," but I'm okay.
Right? That was our
I'm gonna go on.
JFK.
I'm gonna go on with my day. For a generation such as ours that fought so hard to break barriers and censorship with stand-up comedy and television and movies, that the next couple, I don't get where the disconnect is between from like the late 1960s to the mid 2010s, how we became so sensitive.
Take
Well-
Darlene's comment. Take Darlene's comment and put it on the screen because I'm going to disagree slightly with this. She says back in the late 70s, schools started becoming a society of wimps when they didn't want kids to fight back and defend themselves. Darlene, I don't know where you're from. Thank you for your comment.
I
Much
worked with
appreciated.
Darlene. She's good, solid people.
But in
She
our
works with me.
area, that went up until the day we graduated high school, and then everybody shook hands. One of the people that bullied me the most is one of my best friends today.
Dude,
And I haven't seen
dude,
him in a while, but
dude,
I
not for
talked to
nothing,
him.
but did you and I, did we not get into a fucking brawl in the middle of the fucking cafeteria
That is
when we were
correct. That was
kids? And fucking
1988.
like, yeah, and like we were in the fucking assistant principal's office. I had 4 teachers hold. It was a bunch of shit. We know
That's the
that
best
now.
part. And they looked at him and they looked at me and they're like, "You guys are fighting?" And I'm like, "I ain't scared of shit."
Yeah.
Maybe
Meanwhile, I
it's
was ready
something
to
in my
kill
head, I
him.
don't know.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I was ready to kill him, and I had like 6 teachers holding me back. It's all water
The
under the
carnage.
bridge.
Yeah.
It's all water under the bridge.
We're
But
the best of
it's
friends now.
I feel like Darlene's very kind of close, 90% correct on that.
Yeah,
For
okay, I'll
us,
give-
it went
yeah.
a little bit longer than the 70s, where we grew up. It was a little bit, I guess. Legend was tougher. It was farm country, so we got into fights, and that's just how it was.
Yep.
But yeah,
You got
I
into
can
a
take
fight,
that a
and then
little
you were
bit.
drinking together on Friday night.
I mean, I graduated.
Yeah, we
I
were
graduated-
the. Oh, okay. I'm going to say this, and we were the first generation where it went from when I had a problem with you, I was fighting you, and that was it. And we were the first generation where now, when you showed up to a fight, you showed up with all your boys, and I had to fight them too.
Yep.
Yeah, we were tough. We're tough kids.
Yeah.
That's why we. Sir.
Are you gonna die?
Yes.
Please don't die.
That's how we survived our fucking teenage years, man. Tough as nails.
Right.
We can handle shit. I mean,
Absolutely.
we're the last generation that can do things for themselves.
I don't want to shit completely on the new generation, whether it's millennials or
It's
Generation
millennials
Y,
and it's millennials and what Y and Z, right?
Gen Y, Gen Z, whoever. It really doesn't fucking matter. There are some, and again, I don't want to shit on the entire generation, but you're right. The majority of them wouldn't know how to shit in a bag if you gave them instructions.
Yeah, yeah, and shit in the bag ahead of time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They don't know whether to wipe their ass or wind their watch. They really don't. And if and I give kids a lot of credit, starting at my daughter's age at 14 and moving on up. If there's something she doesn't know how to do, she's on Google or YouTube and she's watching and she's trying to learn. And God bless her. We had trial and error. And I explained to her, you are so blessed to have
Yep.
all this technology in front of you. And the funniest thing, there was, I can't remember who it was. Hermit might have been your son.
What?
Who said
What did he say? What did he say?
Math teachers in 3rd grade. You're not always going to have a calculator in your pocket. And he's like, me today. Excuse me, like to have a little talk.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in the 80s, we were the first generation to have a watch with a calculator on it, and we were specifically told you cannot use that. Then
Yep.
why do they make these fucking things? Finish your point, Lynch.
I don't even remember where I was going now.
All right, Darlene has another comment. Thank you, Darlene. You're becoming one of my favorite watchers or listeners or whoever you are. It's Darlene. Are you going to bring that up sometime today, or are we going to sit here picking our noses?
Oh, I'm getting there. I'm
All
all
right. From Connecticut, my son got poked with a pencil from a kid behind him and finally had enough, and he got in trouble. We went to school and stuck up for him. That's cool, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was the right thing
Yeah.
to do.
Absolutely.
I would add a caveat to that. I hope he turned around and punched that kid square in his fucking teeth,
Yeah.
because that's how we solved shit.
yeah,
We both
y-
ended up in the Herm and I in the cafeteria.
you fuck around, you find out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Herm back then was 6'8", 921 pounds. I was about 5'6", weighing all 98 with a brick in my pocket. I wasn't going down. I'm like, motherfucker, come on. And we brawled. We went. I didn't back down. I ain't scared of shit. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe I need Ritalin. I don't know. Do the Thorazine shuffle and find out. Fuck.
Ugh.
I don't want to look. If some of you out there are from the younger set and you're listening or watching this, we're not shitting on you. We just want to let you know one thing, and it's something that you've probably heard from your parents. Some of us are your parents, whether Lynch knows it or not. You don't know every fucking thing.
Yep.
And when you don't know every fucking thing and someone corrects you and you clap back, I'm going to say it, and I know how much people hate it when I say this, not the gentleman on this show. Facts don't care about your fucking feelings.
Nope.
Mhm.
No matter how much you stare at it and how much you want it to be, the sky's not red. No matter how much you stare at that pot and you didn't turn on the burner, that water's not going to boil.
Nope.
Just because you think it doesn't make it so. You have the world at your fingertips in many, many ways. Hell, this technology that we're working with right now to bring you a show, we couldn't have done that back then.
No way. No way, dude.
Absolutely not. We'd have to
No
pirate a
way.
radio station to. Okay, I'm sharing too much.
This
Yeah.
this was some science fiction shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, we watched Star Trek, and they had the thing. Scotty, beam me up. We're like, oh, that's cool. Intergalactic.
And guess what? We have
We got it.
team up. Yeah.
We got
What
it.
movie? Oh fuck! What movie was it I was watching? And they were having like a teleconference, like a Zoom meeting. It was a science fiction movie, and I'm like, look at that! They had Zoom all the way back in 1981.
Yeah.
Oh, Darlene is coming in hot. He did whack him and fix the situation, but the damn teacher says to say something, handle it, and be done with it. There's a problem with that, Darlene, and whether or not he went through it, and I'm glad he took the measures he did. You can say all you want nowadays. I had it happen with my daughter where, you know, she's getting fucked with and she goes and she tells somebody, and then there's like Herm said, there's 3 girls on top of my daughter going, oh, little squealer, huh? You want to say shit, huh? She called me that night. I'm like, you have my full permission. If they need to call me, call me. I want you to throw that elbow that I taught you. Not the fist. You don't want to hurt your fingers because you play basketball. Throw that elbow right into their fucking face and knock the shit out of one of those girls. The other 2 will fall back.
Yeah.
She didn't get suspended. I mean, she got an in-school suspension, but whatever the fuck. That's like, whatever. That's a timeout for kids.
Yeah. It's not really a punishment.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, speaking of timeout, whoever invented that should be beaten like we were as children. We have a generation now that is so disrespectful because, again, they think that we thought we knew everything, but once we got that ass whooping, we were brought back down to earth. Oh, I guess I don't
That's
know
right.
nothing. I don't know nothing.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
Every now and again, it's not abuse if you spank a child. It's abuse if you beat the shit out of the child and throw him down a flight of stairs. A spanking is not abuse. The kids hold all the cards. I grabbed my daughter by the arm one time. She's like, you do that again, I'm going to tell DCF. I'm like, here's my phone. Why don't you call him right now? Get on it. I ain't scared of shit. And I'll be fucked if I let some child tell me how it's going to be. Not on my watch.
They don't write the rules.
Mhm.
They just gotta follow them.
But I have to blame partially our generation for handing them all. We handed them 3 aces, and there's an ace in the flop.
Right.
Their hand is winning already.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 aces, and there's 2. My Texas Hold'em is a little crusty right now.
Among other things.
Hold on. All right, not anymore. But yeah, it's just
It ain't crusty no more.
I feel bad. Like after, and Herm knows this. My nephew, Herm's son,
Mm-hmm.
him and I go round and round and round, and 90% of the time, Travis is coming at you from his heart, and I get it, but he's not coming at you with facts. When he told Mike one time, well, you're just not progressive enough to understand, and this and that and the other thing, I'm like, it has nothing to do with progressive. It has to do with this is a fact, and you just can't deal with it. Well, who the fuck do you think you are? Who made you the ruler of facts? I'm like, nobody, but you can Google it in about 5 seconds to find out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Say it again and again. They don't care about your feelings. I'm not the
I'm so
feelings
tempted
police.
to buy that T-shirt, but the money goes to Shapiro. But I'm not giving Shapiro any of my money. If that was a Matt Walsh quote, I'd buy 3 in every. I'd buy 3 in every color. That's my boy, Matt Walsh.
You'd literally be the rainbow.
I would be the rainbow.
Taste the rainbow.
Oh. And if I can make one last comment, and I'll throw it to you guys, stop it with making pronouns up. There are
It's not
there's
going to
he,
stop.
him, she, her,
Mm-hmm.
and they, them, and that's for plural or the unidentified. There's no Ziza or Princess Turtle or demon self or any of that fucking shit. Knock it off. Oh, I can't. I can't with these people.
It's bad.
What do you mean, these people? That's enough. Yeah, I'm going to get hate mail. Oh, and send it to junctiondysfunctionshow@gmail.com.
There you
And send me
go.
your hate.
Yeah,
Oh,
good times.
the
Good
world
times.
does need an enema, Herm.
It does.
Oh, what do you got,
It-
Lynch?
Other than the football, oh, I was watching
you
CBS
weren't.
Sunday. Shut up. I was watching CBS Sunday Morning yesterday, and Linda Ronstadt was having a piece on her. I didn't realize this, but in the mid 2000s, she got this. Oh, it's a disease
Mm-hmm.
that prevents you from being able to sing.
Yeah, I'd heard about
It's
that.
progressive supranuclear palsy. She
Mhm.
noticed.
Wow.
She noticed in the mid 2000s that her voice was kind of not as strong as it used to be, and by the time um, the mid 2010s came around, she couldn't sing anymore. It was very. It made me sad because she was such a great singer
Mm-hmm.
in her day.
Mhm.
My dad loved Linda Ronstadt. Oh my god,
Did.
the passion, and it also affects kind of how she speaks. So she's not like the bubbly person you remember. It's very like staccato. It was just heartbreaking.
Wasn't she like 90?
76.
76, you're absolutely right.
All
Yep.
right.
See?
76.
Generation? I use the Google machine.
I did
I
too.
find facts with this. Look at that.
I find porn.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, that's nice.
And look, there didn't used to be a whole lot of, me and Linda Ronstadt music. You hear it everywhere when I was a kid, and then it became like elevator music
Mhm.
in the grocery. And I think Herm will tell you, I think I was with Herm in a grocery store, and Blue Bayou came on, and I was singing at the top of my lungs the chorus line to Blue Bayou.
It's good shit.
Yeah, and as you get to the next aisle, the people are just kind of like looking at you like, "You the motherfucker that was singing Blue Bayou?" Yeah, that was.
I
That was me.
am.
I took my
I
hat
didn't know.
off. I collected tips.
I didn't know this grocery store came with a show.
Come back
Where's
for
the
the
tip
8
jar?
o'clock show. There'll be steak in the back of my belt line.
Nice.
Where's the tip jar at?
I can show you the tip, but not
Is
the
that-
jar. Sorry.
Yeah, that's for later.
Right? Yeah, that
Yeah.
sucks about Linda Ronstadt. Boy, that woman could sing.
Mhm.
Very much so. Had pipes.
Not my favorite
Yeah.
kind of music, and I can say that about a lot of different songbirds, if you will. But
Mhm.
you have to admit and respect that. God damn, they were good.
Oh God, yeah.
I may
Mhm.
not like Reba McEntire, but damn, that woman can sing.
Oh, it's like
Yes, you can.
the other singers of that
Very much
generation,
so.
Carly Simon,
Ooh,
Ann Reddy,
do you mean Anne Murray?
Anne Murray, and Helen Reddy.
I was going to say Helen Reddy.
They had a baby. Those, again, not your type of music, but
It's 2022. They can
shit.
do what they want.
shit, they could really sing.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Even with the raspy voice, you could be enthralled by the voice of a Janis Joplin.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people to listen to that maybe doesn't fit into these categories. You got to go way back. Ella Fitzgerald
Yeah, she.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call.
and her tag team partner, because I'm making them a tag team now, Billie Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep. That's a good
Amazing
pairing.
shit.
That's a good pairing.
Mm-hmm. And look, and Herm and
Mhm.
I, before we went hot, we were just talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Herm made the point that he's glad hip hop is going in, and we had that discussion before that they all kind of blend together. Popular music is popular music. I
Yep.
think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a bad name. The Music,
Music
Hall of
Hall of
Fame,
Fame.
the Popular Music Hall of Fame, whatever you want to call it, because any building that can have Kiss, Judas Priest, Dolly Parton, NWA, and Eminem, Michael Jackson, all in the same building, that's popular music.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And as much as the rock and roll side of these people want to say, well, it's rock and roll, and these people don't belong in. Why isn't Motorhead in there? Let me break down some real facts for you. Once again, facts. Motorhead, as much as I love them, are not as popular as you think,
No.
and they chances are will never be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yep.
They will be in the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame, which there is one, not a physical building, but there is much like the WWE Hall of Fame doesn't have a physical building, they do recognize the heavy metal
Right.
from
Right.
past and present. Yeah, Motorhead's going to go in there, much like Pantera's going to go in there. Pantera had #1 albums. Do I think they should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? No, it doesn't fit into that window of you can play an Eminem record and a Kiss record and a Michael Jackson record and a Dolly Parton record in a row, and somehow it makes sense. You throw Pantera,
in there.
No.
Just doesn't fit.
But Judas Priest can, because their popularity went for 50 years. They're still touring, and they had songs that everybody knows, be it from movies, listening to it on the radio, MTV. Name somebody on this earth who doesn't know You've Got Another Thing Coming.
Right.
There you go. You hear
breaking the law.
There you go.
Breaking the law.
Breaking the law. Johnny B. Good when they did the music for Back to the Future.
Yep.
But then they ended up using the Chuck Berry version.
Right.
But yeah, is that kind of like Jelly Roll? Who knew he could sound country? Ooh, good one. Darlene, you're coming in hot. Oh, that's my spirit animal this week. Darlene.
Darlene.
Oh, that's it.
All right, you guys want to hear a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame joke before we close out?
Yep.
Okay, my buddy Joe is fat, like really fat. And I suggested he go on the Dolly Parton diet. 6 months later, he says, Chris, that diet is great. It really made Joe lean. Jolene.
Oh, my Jesus.
You're canceled.
Oh, thank God, because I got to go home. Look at her. He can't even lift his head up.
I can't even.
Wow, even Disturbed is angry with me. There's the drums telling me it's time to go.
I can't even.
Next week, I've got 20 of the best of Red from a place called Am I the Asshole? And there's going to be enough. We're all going to have one. We're all going to mute our microphones after I say, Herm, this one's yours. Am I the asshole? Mike's muted. You go to town. You tell them why they are or aren't the asshole.
All right.
The rules are going to apply to everybody. The first one, Herm, to break the rules, Herm, is banned from the show.
Not me. Not me.
Say goodbye, Lynch.
Goodbye, Lynch. Remember, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook Live, Instagram.
Anywhere you steal your podcast from.
Anywhere you want to watch us. Monday night. Please watch us live. We want to get the YouTube thing up and running, rolling. So catch us next week. We're gonna have some assholes about it.
That's right. Next week, am I the asshole? We will find out.
Talk to y'all later.
Absolutely. Peace.
Sleep soundly in your bed still.